Within hours of January 6th, literally hours, you began to hear that day described as a deadly insurrection, and not described by one news outlet or one politician, but in unison by all of them, almost like it was coordinated. A deadly insurrection. That's how history may record January 6th. But the tape that we reviewed from within the building on that day proves it was neither an insurrection nor deadly.
All right, Jay. So we knew it. We knew it when it happened. We actually watch it. I watched it live on InfoWars. I'm sure you watched it live, probably there or somewhere else. Most of us did, I believe, in the group January 6th, right? Wonder if it's a distraction now that I think about it, because it is literally headlines all over the place. And we knew that it was all BS. We knew no cops died. We knew that like the only victims were good people that weren't necessarily rioting or anything. And yeah, there was people that got out of hand, but I think it was mild compared to most like rock concerts. It's probably a weak mosh pit compared to that. So yeah, for those that don't know, Tucker Carlson has received a bunch of footage of J6, and I can't wait for the pipe bomb one. That's probably the only thing I'm ready for that they said happened. I'd say allegedly, but I mean they went full force on that. However, they're all liars, and that's all they've done so far is lie about it. Now, there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to it, other than we knew it was BS, and they were there to protest peacefully. And on one side of the building, the police started shooting them with pepper balls and attacking them. And they were like, we love you. We love you. And the cops started it. And then people, which were undercover Antifa or FBI agents, pick your choice, your boys in there, started a riot. And it's like gang mentality. When people start getting wild in a group towards someone that's working against them, they start attacking. They get pretty rowdy really quick. It's group mentality kind of thing. However, if you haven't seen the footage or you're not too sure, you're on the fence or on any side of the fence, you should go see it. And you should listen to what Tucker Carlson is saying, not just word for word, but look between the lines is what he's doing. He's warming up right now the regular Joe to bring their attention and awareness to the subject, to get them to the point of where we are. We understand it was a false flag. We understand that there was provocateurs in there to cause this in order to justify. It's very interesting how it wasn't as crazy as they said it was. And then you had people being turncoats in it. Well, Donald Trump, I was going to vote for an investigation or to recount or to look into this, but just since this horrible thing happened, the worst thing since the Civil War, I'm not going to do it. It justified the means and allowed people to sit in their political offices still as if they were on the righteous side of things, except they're all on the same team, which is interesting, is how the left-wing media is doubling down on this. I mean, I don't know what else they could really do after so many, years of just repeatedly over and over and over again. Trump support is bad. Conservatives bad, patriots bad, people that support having police around in order to stop the chaos bad. Why? Because it goes against their agenda. So I want to read, just type in January 6th news on Google. Washington Post. Tucker Carlson mocked by Anderson Cooper, comedians over January 6th coverage 1 day ago. CNN. Opinion. Tucker Carlson's spin on January 6th is a lie. I should know. I was there. NBC News, January 6th, rioters trashed a GOP senator's office, and he hasn't acknowledged it. Very interesting. Define trashed for me. Mess up some papers, knock some stuff over. That's what happens when thousands of people enter a building. But trashed. That's the worst thing they did. Here we go. Politico. House GOP faces a new January 6th headache, courtesy of Tucker Carlson. The Columbus Dispatch. 9 cartoons about Tucker Carlson's mostly peaceful chaos. Lies about January 6th riot. Then, of course, you got The Hill. House GOP launches probe into January 6th panel. And then Fox News, Tucker Carlson, how Capitol Police were unprepared for January 6th. It is all out war. The Republicans and Democrats, these people in office, were on the same side. They allowed this to happen. And what they allowed to happen was the unjustified attack on citizens, scooping them up by the busload afterwards and forcing them to make plea deals. And in some instances, after they signed these plea deals, because they were looking at crazy time, going, oh, we're going to put on treasonous charges or terroristic charges as well on top of it. Let's continue. Rolling Stone. Tucker Carlson fails miserably at January 6th propaganda bomb. Can you believe this? Let's see what else is going on here. McConnell slams Fox and Tucker Carlson for January 6th portrayal. Republican lawmakers split over Carlson's false January 6th claims. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. The news, as we know, the fake news, the mainstream media, cannot hold its shit together right now when it comes to this topic. I didn't think it was going to be a big thing. I think it's going to wake up a lot of people and have a political effect, most certainly. Charges against these people, I don't know. However, they took that guy, which I'm still unsure of if he's FBI or just a regular person who they're calling the Q shaman. They walked him in. And as you see, there's like 6 Capitol police officers around him, just pointing him which way, escorting him, showing him all around everything. And then he prays for him. And they put that guy in there and he's doing like 4 years or something. It's like 4 to 6 or something like that. And they walked him in on trespassing charges.
Like we've known it's not what the media has been saying, and like we've known that how the media spun it led to these people being wrongfully accused. It's not meant for us, kind of thing. It's meant for the people who went along with the narrative.
That is true. Yeah, it's an awakening. And I think the whole thing about it was to show it was a power grab, right? We obviously just did something. We installed someone in like a toilet with 80 million votes, right? And you're not even allowed to protest with it. Because if you do, we're going to call it the worst thing since the Civil War. Pearl Harbor, 9/11, I don't even know. They were on there saying it was worse than 9/11. They're saying it was this horrible, huge thing. It's just insane that these people will actually believe it or hear about it and dislike it. You even got far-right conservatives that believe it was this thing. The problem is that I believe Fox News should just keep blowing it out over and over and over again, because those lefties, all they watch is what I just read, how it's fake, it's dumb, it's, and people just roll their eyes at it. But yet you'll believe 5 police officers were attacked and killed. No evidence. People need to realize what really happened here. We knew it was FBI and Antifa and it was a false flag and it wasn't that crazy. A Capitol police officer, he shot that woman in cold blood. He murdered her. So let's look at it. He wasn't protecting anything. He was on the side of these evil, horrible people that are trying to take over your country and do what they're doing right now. And on the other side of the fence is a 12-year veteran, unarmed, climbing through a window, possibly standing in that window to make sure nobody else went through it. People need to pick a side. I believe they need to pick it real quick.